Good evening, everybody. Tonight I am going to be making a meat pie. You're going to need 2 pie crusts because these ingredients are going to make 2 pies. So you're going to need 2 pie crusts. You're going to need chicken broth. You're going to need 1.5 pounds of hamburger meat. You're going to need some sausage. I like to get the seasoned hot sausage, whichever brand you like. I just like that it adds extra flavor. And then I use the Trinity blend. This blend has your onions, celery, and peppers. If you don't have this, you're going to need, I'd say 1 onion, 1 small onion, and 2 stalks of celery, okay, chopped. And then we're going to make 6 cups of mashed potatoes. I know that looks like more, but once you get the mashed potatoes, we're not going to finish the mashed potatoes, putting the butter and all that stuff in it. We're just going to make the mashed potatoes. We're going to be seasoning with we got to have garlic. We got 2 cloves of garlic we're going to chop up as well. Salt, pepper. We're going to also use garlic powder, and we're going to use seasoning salt. So I'm going to get the meat started with all of this, and once that gets done, we'll go to the next step. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and start my potatoes so everything kind of gets done at the same time. And we put it all in the pie and we put it in the oven. Okay, so I'm starting my meat and my potatoes at the same time. In the potatoes, even though once it's done, I'm not going to add any milk or anything, I am going to go ahead and put half a stick of butter in there while it's cooking. I'm also going to go ahead and add salt to the water. Just to make sure that the potatoes are salty enough, and I like to add pepper to it as well. And for your meat, you're going to season it. I've got my garlic in there, and then sorry, I'm gonna add my salt, pepper, and crazy mixed up salts, and some garlic powder. All right. Now, again, if you don't have the Trinity or the seasoning blend, you're going to need to add onions and celery to this. So I'm going to go ahead and just pour, I had like half a bag and I used almost the rest of this, okay? So some people like to do the meat first and then add the vegetables in a separate thing, and then they saute that and then they add it back to the meat. I usually like to get in the kitchen and out of the kitchen, so I kind of just cook everything together. But to me also, if you do it this way, you're cooking the flavors into the meat. So I'm going to get the meat browned and the vegetables tender. We're going to get the mashed potatoes done, and once that's done, we're going to put it in the pie plates, and we're going to put it in the oven at 375. So let me get all this finished up and we'll go to next step. Okay, so now I've got the potatoes ready to be mashed, ready to be drained and mashed. And normally with my meat, I don't normally drain it because it's, you need the liquids. But with this, because you don't want the pie crust to get all soggy and I'm going to go ahead and drain this. So I'm going to get these 2 drained. I'm going to mash these potatoes and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now remember, we didn't put anything in the mashed potatoes. We just mashed the potatoes. Now I'm going to pour this in here. Ow, be careful because it's really hot. And I got these new pans, and they're a lot heavier than I thought they would be. So anyway, so you're going to pour your potatoes in here, and you're going to get this all mixed up. You're going to mix up the potatoes and the meat, and you're going to add a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Okay, 1/2 cup. If it winds up not being where it doesn't have enough juice, I might add a little bit more, but I'll taste it before it goes into the pie dishes. And we got 2 ready-made pie dishes. You can make your own pie crust, but I went ahead and just bought these. So let me just get this stirred up and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I have everything mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and you're just going to fill up the pie just like you would with any kind of filling. You're going to do it evenly, so you put just as much in one as you put in the other. Now, of course, you don't have to make 2 pies. You can make, half of this recipe. You could cut it down. I just usually just make both because, I take care of my parents, and, in between feeding them and feeding us, you'll go through 2 of these pretty quick. So I'm just going to do this one real quick. You're just going to kind of like put it in here. Make sure you don't kind of cover your edges too much. Okay. Now you're going to take your other pie crust, and what I do is I just buy 2 of the pies, and then I just take off the pie crust. Now hopefully this won't tear. Well, it kind of broke a little bit, but you could just take this pie crust, you put it on there, you press down your edges like that. Okay, and that's, there you go. And normally you would cut slits in it, but since this broke, then that's just perfect. And then you would put this in the oven at 375 degrees. Okay, so I got the one in the oven and I'm finishing up. And you can see, you know, it fills it up, and I still had a little left, and that's okay. You know, I mean, it's okay to have a little left. And again, how we're going to do the pie crust is you're just going to take it from the pie pan as gently as you can, of course. There we go. There. And then you have your top of your pie crust. And again, you're just going to pinch the edges to get it sealed up. Okay, I'm not the neatest at doing this, but once it bakes, I promise it'll all look nice and pretty. So since this one didn't tear, I'm going to put a couple of little slits in this, and then it's going to go in the oven. Again, we're going to do this at 375 for 30 to 35 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. So once these come out of the oven, I'll show you how they look. Okay, just real quick, they just came out of the oven. It took 35 minutes. I did brush the tops with butter. I forgot to say that. I'm going to let this rest and cool for a few minutes, and then I'll cut into it. Okay, it's been resting about 10 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut into it. And you can use whatever, you know, you need to get cut into it, and then you just scoop it out. Hopefully it'll stay together. We shall see. Okay. Oop. And there you go. You got your meat, potatoes, and your bread all together right there. And it did kind of fall apart a little bit, so I didn't. There we go. Let me get the rest of it in there. There we go. Okay. So there it is after you get it done. It doesn't have to be pretty, as long as it tastes good. So hold on 1 minute. I'm going to grab me a fork. Okay, so I got a bite. This has got all your meat and potatoes and your veggies and everything in it. So I'm gonna give it a try. It's good. A little bit hot still, but it's good. If y'all have any questions, let me know. If not, enjoy, y'all.